Welcome back, gamers, to our final Tekken 8 Day Zero build. This one is going to be for Jin Kazama, the pre-release character, that is the promo for the pre-releases for Tekken 8. He is still a character in the set, so I thought it'd be good to build a Day Zero for him. He's a 6 hand size 32 health character with the Chaos, Good, and Life symbols. He's got 3 abilities, which are pretty good. As a static, if there is a Devil Gene counter on this card, your attacks get +2 damage. If there is no Devil Gene counter on this card, your rival's attacks get -2 speed. So, right off the bat, -2 speed on all your rival's attacks, pretty solid. As an enhance, if there are no Devil Gene counters on this character, you can commit him to add a Devil Gene counter to this card, and your next check gets +2. So, this is the character that gets Devil Gene counters the easiest. You just have to commit him. So that's really cool. And then your next check is +2, and because you have the counter, all of your attacks get +2 damage. Then we have Enhance Commit. Remove 1 Devil Gene counter from Jin. Build up to 2 foundations with a difficulty of 3 or less from your hand. So you'd remove this on your turn. So basically, you would try to time this on what you think is your rival's last attack. Commit Jin to get the Devil Gene counter, and your next check is +2. Then on your turn, all of your attacks are going to get +2 damage. Then at the start of your rival's turn, you can commit him on their first enhance attack to remove the counter to build up to 2 foundations, which could be 0 if you wanted to, and then all of their attacks get -2 speed for the turn. He does have a little bit of a positioning issue because of the both abilities trying to commit, but you could just play the whole game without getting the Devil Gene counter until you're ready to kill your rival. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to start with Electric Wind God Fist. This card is nutty. It is a 4/3, 3 mid for 4 with a 2 mid block and the punch keyword. As a static, if it is the 4th or fewer copy of Electric Wind God Fist you have played this turn, it cannot be flipped. This means it cannot flip due to its own abilities, but it also cannot be flipped due to abilities like Condescending Explanation or Dimensional Sphere. Dimensional Sphere is a very popular defensive card right now. You cannot flip Electric Wind God Fist with Dimensional Sphere if it is the 4th or fewer copy your rival has played. And as a Blitz, we get to make a control check of 5. And if we succeed in that control check, which we are allowed to commit foundations to do so, this attack gains Echo. If you checked an attack this way, add it to your momentum. Your check to play this ability gets +1 if you have a heat token in your stage. So, Echo is a responsibility that says, after this attack resolves, spend 1 momentum. You may attempt to play this card from your card pool as your next form. And normally, after it resolves the 2nd time, it would flip itself. But you can play Electric Wind God Fist 5 times in 1 turn, and on the 5th time, it flips. So right off the bat, if your rival has no cards in their hand, and you just go all in on this 1 card, this is putting up 20 damage on its own. This card is ridiculous. But imagine you commit Jin during your turn. Your next check gets +2. You get a Devil Gene counter. This is now a 3 mid 6. And you could check the 5, and if you checked a 3, you would still get a 5 because Jin just gave you +2 to your check, and you get a momentum to then spend on the Echo. So very, very, very powerful card. We also have Naniwa Peacemaker Knuckle, a 5/3, 4 mid for 4 with a 2 low block. Echo, another Echo attack, Charge and Punch. As a Blitz, if you have 5 or less health, this attack gets -1 difficulty, so it becomes a 4 diff just like Electric Wind God Fist. And Blitz, if there are 1 or more counters on your character, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So Jin gains a Devil Gene counter, and that counts for Peacemaker Knuckle, so you just get a free momentum, basically automatically turning this 1 attack of 4 mid 4, which 4 mid 6 with Jin, into 2 4 mid 6s with Jin. And then you can just play Electric Wind God Fist and just keep checking 5s and chuck a whole bunch of 3 mid 6s. Your rival's going to run out of mid blocks eventually. We have Divine Dominance of Annihilation, a 5/3 4-low for 5 with a 2 mid block, powerful 2 and punch. Powerful 2 being a keyword ability that says spend 1 or more momentum, and for each momentum spent, this attack gets +2 damage. But as a static ability, as an additional cost to play this attack, we must sacrifice 1 heat token. So if we don't have a heat token on our stage, we cannot play this card during our turn, unless we're blocking a rival's attack with it. But as a blitz, we get to add 1 non-character card from our rival's stage to their hand, and they are not allowed to play copies of that card this turn. So we can say, hey, I'm going to put this low block into your hand, and you're not allowed to block with it, even though my attack's a low. Or cards like Moment of Normalcy, or any defensive ability card that your rival might have, put it in their hand, and they're just not allowed to play it. They can play it on their next turn, but that's about it. We have Sandstorm, a 5/3 4 mid for 5 with a 1 high mid block. That is a mid, okay. It's got the kit keyword, and as a blitz, if you have more foundations than your rival, draw 1 card. Because Jin allows us to build 2 foundations from our stage, this is a great way to outbuild our rival on their turn, and then just draw extra cards on our turn. And then blitz your next high attack gets +3 speed. And why would we need 3 speed on our high attacks? Well, because we're playing Jet Haymaker, the Tim Keefe special. A 4/3 0 high for 4 with a 2 mid block. It's got Deadlock, Powerful 3, Punch, and Tech. So Powerful 3, we've already gone over what Powerful does, but Deadlock means we can only play this ability if our rival has at least 11 foundations in their stage. As a blitz, we can add 2 cards from any player's discard pile to the bottom of their deck in any order. So if our rival's trying to fish for cards out of their discard pile, we could put those on the bottom of the deck and say, yeah, you don't get to do that, sorry. Then we have a blitz. This attack gets +1 speed for each foundation in our rival's stage. So if we have our Devil Gene counter, this is a 0 high 6, which can become a very, very fast high for 6. And that's not including any other damage we might be able to throw at our rival. Or maybe we're just trying to chip them for 4 or 6 to get momentum for our fun Echo package here. And lastly, Female Titan attacks. This is a fun one. It's a 7/4, 7 high for 7 with a 1 high block. It's got Titan and Shift. Shift is a static keyword that says, as this card clears your card pool during the end phase, if you have played it this turn, you may build it transformed, which is the backup version we see here. And we'll get to that one in a minute. But as a blitz, the Female Titan attack says we get to draw a card and ready 1 backup. So we're not really going to be using that to ready the backup, per se, but drawing a card is always good. And then the backup side of the Female Titan is a unique, so we can only have 1 in our stage at a time. But as a form, we can commit her and lose 4 stamina. She has 7. We mill 2, so discard the top 2 cards of our deck. We get to choose any punch or kick attack in our discard pile and add it to our hand. So at form speed, which is anytime we could play a card from our hand during our turn, we could instead play a form ability. We can just pick up an Electric Wind Godfist from our discard pile and play that 5 times. Or we could pick up Naniwa Peacemaker Knuckle, and play that twice. So a very, very tricky ability here to just always get an attack into our hand. And then Enhance, we can commit her to lose 1 stamina and get 2 speed. Onto our non-attack cards, we have Jin's Gloves. Whoa, we have Jin's Gloves. Obviously, because we are Jin. A 3/5 with a 1 mid block, and it says Enhance Commit, choose 1 card in your card pool. You may try to block this attack with it. So this is just a great way to loop cards you've already blocked with to kind of maximize your resources. And especially if you're giving your rival -2 speed on every attack because you don't have a Devil Gene counter, this just makes blocking so much easier. And in fact, this should be added to in this deck. And then we have Cape of No Return, a 3/4, 3 high block with Unique. Unique meaning we can only have 1 copy in our stage. It's got Enhance Remove. Remove this attack from the game. So we can just say, hey, I'm not going to be able to block that attack even with the minus speed, so I'm just going to get rid of it so I don't have to deal with it. For our actions, we have Hand of Ambition, a 3/5, 2 high block with Form Remove, add 1 heat token to your stage. We just get a free heat token, but we lose 3 health unless we have a Devil Gene counter on our character. So this is good to play once we have that Devil Gene counter. All of our attacks are getting +2 damage, and then we get a heat token which says, as a response, if our attacks do no damage, we can have our rival lose 1 health. Won't reduce them to 0 health, but it's still pretty strong. And this is a very good card to have with the Electric Wind God Fist, because then the checks to play Electric Wind God Fist's ability get +1 because we have that heat token in our stage. And of course, we're playing Jin's Gloves, we have to be playing Protector of Life, a 2/5, 2 mid block with Breaker 1, which is a response that says, after we block with this card, our rival's next check to play a card gets -1. And then we have the response, after we block with this card, the attack deals no damage. Add 1 power token to your stage. And power tokens can be sacrificed to give your attacks 2 damage each. So being able to use 1 Protector of Life and Jin's Gloves to block multiple cards is a very strong defensive backbone. Onto foundations, we have Devil's Instincts, a 2/4, 4 mid block with Unique. As a response that is tenacious, or playable while this card is committed, we remove Devil Instincts. After you make a check to play a card, that check gets +1. So that's really good. And then response, discard pile. So we can remove this card from our discard pile and sacrifice a heat token. After we make a check to play a card, that check gets +2. So if it's in our stage, we can remove it for +1 to a check while it's committed. So we can already commit it to pass the check, so that's pretty good. And then in our discard pile, if we have a heat token, thanks to cards like Hand of Ambition, we can remove Devil's Instincts and get rid of that heat token to get +2 on the check to play a card, which is really good for a long string that maybe started with 5 Electric Wind God Fists, or 2 Nanawa Peacemaker Knuckles. We have G Corp CEO, a 2/5, 3 high block with Enhanced Flip, draw 1 card. If there are no Devil Gene counters on your character, remove 1 card from your hand. So as long as we have the Devil Gene counter, this is just flip, draw 1. But if we don't have the Devil Gene counter, it's draw 1 and then we remove a card from our hand. We have Mishima Bloodline, a 1/5, 3 low block with Enhanced Flip. This attack is +2 or -2 damage. If there is a Devil Gene counter on your character, this ability is tenacious. It is playable while this card is committed, which is very strong. An extra +2 damage just for having already +2 damage on our character is really good. We have Spirited Peacemaker, a 2/5, 3 high block with a static that says at the start of your end phase, ready this foundation if there are 1 or more counters on your character. So if we've gone through our turn and we have our Devil Gene counter, we can just ready this card at the start of our end phase. And then we have Enhanced Commit, this attack is -2 speed. So imagine we ready this up because we had given all our attacks +2, and our character's still committed. We can commit to build a foundation from our hand, which gives all of our rivals' attacks -2 speed, and then this commits for an additional -2 speed. Jin has a lot of moving pieces, and he's a very good pivot control character, where you're kind of constantly wanting to figure out when you can get the damage on your turn and the -speed on your rival's turn. And I will admit this to you right now, the best way is a card that's not even in this deck, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video. We have Hungry for Pizza, a 2/5, 2 mid block with the pizza keyword. As an enhanced flip, this attack gets +2 speed. If it deals damage, gain 2 health. So we can give all of our attacks +2 damage with Jin, with our character ability. Pizza gives us +2 speed. And then if it deals damage, we also gain 2 health, so we get a bit of a more defense there. We have Finally Free, a 3/6, 1 mid block with Enhanced Flip, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So that's just really good. We are trying to pay for our Electric Wind God Fists, and we only get the momentum from Electric Wind God Fist if we check an attack when playing the Blitz. So this is just a good way to guarantee we have a whole bunch of momentum to just crap out a whole bunch of Electric Wind God Fists. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5, 3 high block with Unique. This says Enhanced Commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. So we can return something to printed speed if we're going to block it. Or if we can't block it and we just need to take some damage, we'll return it to printed damage. Or if our rival has reduced our speed to oblivion, we can reset it to printed. Or if they've reduced our damage to 0, we can at least return it to printed. We have Defend the City, a 2/6 1 high block with response Tenacious flip. After you commit any number of cards due to a rival effect, build the top card of your deck face down. So it kind of recoups our losses a little bit if our rival's trying to commit our cards. We have Fearsome Transformations, a 1/5/3 high block with enhanced flip, draw 1 card. If you have no momentum, discard 1 card. If we can just get the momentum with our abilities from Electric Wind Godfist or Finally Free or even just dealing damage, this is just flip draw card. Another really good use for momentum is Warrior Instinct, a 2/5/3 low block with form, flip, spend 1 momentum, add 1 heat token to your stage. And if we've added 3 heat tokens or more during this game, we get +1 to our checks for the turn. So if we've used this to flip and get a heat token, and that's our minimum 3rd heat token that we've gotten, when we play Electric Wind Godfist, we will always be guaranteed to check a 5. Because the Blitz says if we have a heat token on our stage, the check gets +1. And then Warrior Instinct says if we have added at least 3 heat tokens this game, our checks get +1. And with all of our attacks being the lowest as a 3 check, this means we will always be guaranteed to check a 5 or higher to supply Electric Wind Godfist. We have Alone Infection, a 2/5/3 low block with response flip. After your attack deals 5 or more damage, draw 1 card or add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So we can either get more hand advantage or get more momentum to fuel our echo abilities. And lastly, Teacher's Guidance, a 2/5/3 low block with enhanced flip. If you've taken damage this turn, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So we take a hit, and then we can just, on the next attack, get a momentum so that, again, we could try to just echo our rival into oblivion with a God Wind Fist and Peacemaker Knuckle. That is it for our Day 0 for Jin Kazama. I will say that probably the best foundation in any Jin Kazama deck will be on the good symbol with, let me look it up here. Jin is an evil, air, good character, foundation, 3 diff. The Devil Gene. This is a unique foundation that says enhance spend 1 momentum if your rival has 8 or more foundations, your attack gets +3 speed, which is fine. But as an enhance, we can sacrifice it if our character is Jin Kazama, ready our character. Now, unfortunately, the only symbol that it shares with Jin is good, so we would not be able to play Naniwa Peacemaker Knuckle and that in the same deck. But this effectively allows us to commit, gain our counter during our turn, and our next check to play a card gets +3, and then sacrifice this to ready him so that on our rival's turn we can commit him and build 2 cards and get the +3 or the -2 speed on all of our rivals' attacks. I chose Chaos here because I don't think I had too many Chaos decks, and there's a lot of good cards, good build characters. So I just decided, since I'm not doing starter deck cards or Challenger Series cards in Day 0 builds, I couldn't use that Devil Jin card. I'm not gonna that Jin card. I'm not gonna make excuses for this. I'm not going to say that I'm gonna just change the rules for Jin. Make an exception. That's the word I was looking for. So I decided something different, and I really like this idea of this eternally echoing Jin that's constantly giving your attacks free damage while constantly feeding their own echoes with their own abilities. So I thought that was really cool, and I really like how this Day 0 for Jin came out. But what do you guys think of our promo pre-release character, Jin Kazama? Do you think he's cool? Do you think he's a little clunky? Do you agree that he's probably best on the good symbol because he gets access to that specific card and every card in that deck, which some of it also wants your character to be committed? Or do you think there's other things you can do with him? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And please consider subscribing if you haven't already. It would really help me out a lot. And until next time, take care guys and enjoy Tekken 8.